الله أستاذة محفوظة.
Doctor, we are going to start within 1 minute, inshallah.
I'm almost ready.
Assalamu alaikum everybody, and welcome back to another session of ETC Talks. I'm so pleased to be with you all and to commence this week by introducing our interesting guest speaker for today's ETC Talk. Before we begin, I would like to remind you that this session is recorded and questions may be raised after the discussion. Today's guest speaker is currently the General Director of Policies and Governance and the Head of National Space Program at the Ministry of Transport and ICT. He is a popular national executive leader with over 20 years professional experience in the ICT and space sectors, and a professional management consultant and advisor to the Ministry on the ICT, post and space fields. His professional expertise includes sector legislation and regulations, policy strategic planning and executions, governance and compliance. He holds a PhD in public policies for science, technology and innovation, besides masters in electrical and computer engineering. He is a graduate among the first cohort of the National Leadership and Competitiveness Program with Diwan Royal Court and University of Oxford. Moreover, he led various legislative policy and strategic initiatives that has impacted the sectors including ICT law, personal data law, national ICT strategy, national cloud first policy, postal sector strategy, space policy and strategy, beside others. He represents the sector at various regional and international events. Also, he is a board member in various local and international BODs, including the UPU, Arabsat Co., Oman ICT Holding Co., and Oman Post Co. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Saoud Ahmed Al-Shuaili. Dr. Saoud, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, محفوظة. And بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته جميعا. It's my pleasure to join you this afternoon among the sessions that's been arranged by the university from the theme of knowledge transfer and sharing. And thank you very much, Mahfouza, for the great introduction. Okay, as she said, my name is Saoud Al-Shuaili. I am here the Director General for Policy and Governance, Ministry of Transport, Communications and IT. محفوظة تسمعوني زين؟
Yes, Doctor, لكن we cannot see your screen.
Oh, again? It's not shared?
Yeah. If you start sharing it again.
مع انها أنا بالنسبة لي واضحة شيرنج يعني الحين ستوب شير. كيف الحين؟
Now it's alright, yeah.
زين واضحة؟
Yeah, yes. Go ahead, Doctor. You might just put it like a slideshow.
واضح؟
Yes, واضحة دكتور. Go ahead.
الصوت لحظة شوي بس أسكر الباب بعد إذنك. Before I start giving the presentation, I would like to know about the type of attendees. Are they all students or member of staff, academics? I mean, what sort of attendees are joining us?
It's a mix. It's a mix, Doctor. Mix of students and academies, and admin also. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but well, most of them are academy.
Okay. Well, basically, I'll take you through today through the Oman digital economy strategy that was developed by the ministry and approved by the cabinet last month. I think by today everyone heard about Oman Vision 2040. Well, basically in this presentation, this is the short agenda, Oman Vision 2040, ICT in the vision, an ICT vision alignment, and then I will take you through the details of the digital economy program, the structure of the program, the pillars, and the ultimate objectives that we aim to achieve out of this program. I think by today everyone knew about Oman Vision 2040. Okay, we know the ultimate vision that the country would like to be among the developed country in various areas, in the innovation, in the income per capita, in the economic diversification, in many areas. And for that vision to be realized, the vision has identified 4 key pillars. One of those pillars is the economy and development. And for each pillar, they identified the national priorities. There are 14 national priorities. In the economic and development, ICT was identified as among the national priorities. And then after the priorities, they also define the strategic objectives. These are 82 strategic objectives, okay, which will be achieved through executing 366 programs. Out of the 82 strategic objectives, the vision assigned 9 of them for the ICT sector. It will be achieved through executing 29 programs across 5 national priorities. So just to sum it up, we have 4 key pillars that including the citizenship, including environment and sustainability, including economic and development, and the governance. Okay, we will focus on the economic and development where our ICT sector lies in. Okay, so from the 82 programs, from the 82 strategic objectives, 9 were assigned for the ICT sector. To achieve those 9 strategic objectives, and also before I jump to achieve them, the vision also determined 3 KPIs, key performance indicators, as a target for the digitization. These KPIs are the Network Readiness Index, and identified where we are as we speak, where we want to be in the coming 20 years, in the interval of 5 years, 25, 30, and 2040. The second KPI is the readiness for future of production, and the third KPI is the e-government development index. So the ministry has taken these tasks from the Vision 2040 and they developed the digital economy strategy, okay, to achieve and meet the KPIs assigned for the ICT sector in the vision. What is the digital economy? I mean, most of you know what is the digital economy, the economy that is based on the technology of the ICT sector. Today, or for the last 50 years, the country has been enjoying the revenue of natural resources, mainly oil and gas resources. That is a resource-based economy, okay? Those resources are not sustainable for long, these are finite, they will end soon or later. But the knowledge-based economy or the digital economy is more sustainable. These are the economies with the industrial states. Okay, so the digital economy is the economic system that is enabled by ICT to reduce cost, optimize operation, boost business growth, and improve the quality of services and products. Okay, so moving from resource-based economy to digital or to knowledge-based economy, in which the ICT sector will play a major role. Okay, worldwide, if we see, the status of the digital economy or knowledge-based economy worldwide, we will find some countries have a contribution up to 16% into their GDP, like Taiwan. Taiwan get 16% contribution in their GDP just from the knowledge, from the productivity, from commercializing the knowledge that they have, IPs, production, technologies. Okay, but some countries, they go as low as 2%, like the situation in Oman. So the ICT sector contribution into the economy was assessed to be just 2%. Okay. In the USA, for example, the contribution into the GDP, just for the students who hear maybe GDP for the first time, it's the gross domestic product. Okay. الناتج الإجمالي المحلي، بالعربي اسمها الناتج الإجمالي المحلي، ويستخدم المصطلح GDP gross domestic product. فهذا يقاس إجمالي الدخل العام للدولة. حال يعني اللي منكم ما سمعوا عن هذا المصطلح من قبل. فمساهمة the contribution of the ICT sector into that economy varies across the countries. As I said, it reached up to 30% in China, which basically means they have a lot of technologies being produced there, and the productivity system is enhanced by digitization, but it goes as low as 2%, which is the situation in Oman. The historical timeline of ICT strategies in Oman, the ICT, if we split it in two elements, the communication services, telecom services, and the IT industry, the telecom services in Oman is very robust. We had these services since mid-70s. We started by fixed telephone line, and then early 90s, we moved to the mobile. And then from 90s all the way until today, we have various technologies of mobile. We have 3G, we have 4G, and now we are talking about the 5G. Okay, so the country have built a robust infrastructure to support the telecom services. The IT side, which is the industrial part of the ICT sector, is not that robust. Today, from the 2% that the contribution of the ICT sector into the economy, only 13 to 15%. From that 2%, only 13 to 15 the contribution of the IT. 85 to 87 is the contribution of the telecom services. And the contribution that comes through the major telecom operators, in many ways, their contributions. Okay, so we have a robust infrastructure in the country. That infrastructure is not maximized. We can generate more economic activities from that infrastructure, not just telecom services. Okay, we have mobile connectivity, we have fixed line connectivity, which is the high-speed broadband connectivity. What can we do about it to maximize it? If we go back into the historical line, back in 2003, the government has approved the e-Oman strategy. استراتيجية عمان الرقمية عام 2003. Maybe by 2003, most of you بعدكم كنتوا في الابتدائية كطلبة. Maybe you are not aware about it. The first movement in the country toward digitization and e-government was back in 2003. In 2006, the government has established the ITA, Information Technology Authority, just to execute e-Oman strategy. Okay, so today we have e-government services in many areas. That is a result of that strategy, which was approved back in 2003. In 2014, the government also has approved the National Broadband Strategy, and a company called Oman Broadband Company was established to execute that strategy. Today we have something like 70% residential connectivity of high-speed internet. Okay, and then finally in 2017, the National ICT Strategy was developed. So we have passed through major key milestones since we started providing telecom services in the country until today. The question today, can't we maximize the benefit of whatever we have built so far in terms of the services available, in terms of digital services or e-government, in terms of infrastructure? Can't we maximize the benefit of that? We analyze the sector. Okay, so before we answer that questions, can't we maximize the benefit or not? We analyze the current situation as we speak. We found, estimatingly, the contribution of the ICT sector to GDP is just 2%. That is the contribution. And when we estimate it, basically it means we don't have accurate data. So we don't know, is it more than 2% or even less? Maybe the situation is worse than we expect. So maybe it's less than 2%. Okay, and then Oman is ranked number 16 in UN Global Cybersecurity Index, 16 out of 175 countries. You know that when we start using the ICT services, cybersecurity plays a major role, okay, just to ensure we are using a more safe and secured environment. Also, the country is ranked 44 in Network Readiness Index out of 134 countries. Okay, and ranked 50 in UN e-government indexes. هذه كلها مؤشرات عالمية. Maybe some of you that you don't know about these indexes, but that is how we assess the performance of the sector. We cannot just assess it locally. We have to use international indicators just to benchmark where we are in compared to other countries. Okay, are we in par with the global move? Are we lagging or are we leading? So in order to know your position, you need to compare yourself with someone with similar circumstances. Okay, we have in the country 100+ data sets. قواعد بيانات موجودات معانا في عمان. And you know the value of data. The digital economy is fueled by data. Okay, and I think you all know now the importance of the big data analytics as academic programs. Okay, and the big demand for those graduates from big data and data analytics. Okay, because we have heap of data that we as a normal people, we don't know the value of that data. As we speak now, we generate data. Some people will make money out of what we are saying right now. So we are a source of income for someone else who has the capability to analyze that data. Also, we have 960 government e-services. We have more than nearly 2,000 government services in the country. 960 being digitalized. However, we are still facing a problem in the integration between the services. So even if those services are provided electronically, they are not fully integrated with each other. Okay, we have 4,000+ companies in the sector, and this number need to be reviewed. Yani if we take the Ministry of Commerce registration and we take all companies registered in the ICT sector, we have 4,000 companies. However, they might even consider the stores that selling telephones or selling computer are like commercial registration, and they consider it as an SME or company. So that requires more review. We have 30,000 employees in the sector. It contributes to 30,000 employees in this sector. Employee hired by companies, by the government, or they are freelancer, self-employee. They have found opportunity in the market and they make use of it. We have 20 international submarine cables. الكوابل البحرية, they are called submarine cables. For those of you who are studying communications, you need to know these terminologies as part of the telecom infrastructure. Submarine cables that connects countries with countries for the internet flow. Okay, it's called submarine cable. On the land here, we have towers, we have fiber optics. So you need to know these terminologies for the telecom, for communications infrastructure. We have 5 data centers and cloud service providers in the country. Okay, we have 99% 3G coverage across the country. I think by today you know what's the difference between 2G, 3G, 4G and 5G. And again, for those who are specializing in all engineering fields, you need to know the differences. What is 2G? What is 3G when we heard about 3G? What is 4G? What is 5G? Why we always complain we don't have enough coverage, we don't have good communications? These terminologies, you need to know the difference. Is very important for you, especially if you graduate and you go to look for a job. These are the ABC questions in the interview. Okay, we have 97% 4G coverage across the country. 3G basically the mobile broadband. 4G is faster. 5G is the data with very low latency in the communication. We have 12% of total number of students in higher education. 12% من إجمالي from the total students in higher education institutes. 12% في تخصصات ال ICT. وال 88% in other areas, other programs. We have 18% of total number of higher education graduates. 18% من إجمالي الخريجين هم من تخصصات ال ICT. 18% of the total graduates are in ICT. Okay, We have 59% of local universities and colleges offer technology-related programs. So now, if you go to any college, public or private, you must find ICT program, ICT-related program. Okay. We have also 72% fixed broadband subscribers penetration. We have 120% mobile broadband subscriber. Okay, and we have 140% mobile subscriber penetration per 100 population. Okay, basically هذا يوضح لنا البرسنتج مال الكفرج. So these are the current situation of the telecom, of the ICT sector in terms of infrastructure, in terms of utilization, in terms of economic contribution. Okay, so how much strong our infrastructure, what we have done with this, and how much it contributes. That is how we analyzed the sector. Okay, so now why we analyzed it? Because the Vision 2040 assigned certain objectives for the ICT sector as a standalone sector or as enabling for other sectors. So will the sector be capable to meet those objectives and those KPIs? We need to start analyzing the situation. From this analysis, we will move forward. Okay, and then we started about the digital economy program. Okay, the digital economy program, as you can see the pyramid, okay, it is linked with the National Vision 2040. Okay, and then the digital program, thriving toward digital economy. Again, I will not repeat it. Digital economy, the economy that is based on technology of the ICT. It is more related to knowledge-based economy. Okay, this economy or this program has three main focus. Okay, which is the digital society, digitalizing business, smart government. I will detail them later on. Now I will just explain to you the structure of the program. Okay, and then from the themes we have goals related to Oman Vision 2040. تتذكروا الثلاث المؤشرات, that is Vision 2040 is tracking for the ICT sector, the readiness, the network, the readiness in the production, in the future of production, and then network readiness, and then e-government readiness. These are the three KPIs. Okay, and then the sector will enable key national priorities. أنا كلمتكم هناك في الفيجن. The vision identified 14 national priorities: education, mining, fisheries, manufacturing, tourism, transport, and logistics. These are 6 among the 14 national priorities. The ICT sectors is expected to contribute toward enabling these sectors in achieving their strategic objectives. So the national priority for the sectors are these 6 اللي هي القطاعات ذات الأولوية باللغة العربية، القطاعات ذات الأولوية في الخطة التنموية. هذه 6 قطاعات ذات أولوية, and it's expected from ICT sector to contribute toward them. And then moving from the national priorities, we have program pillars. طيب, هذا الناشونال digital economy strategies يتكون from programs or pillars. These programs are the e-commerce. So in order to achieve all the objectives of the digital economy, we need to focus in many programs: e-commerce, and then artificial intelligence and advanced technologies. We need also to focus in enhancing the telecom infrastructure, the ICT infrastructure. We need to focus on enhancing the digital industry and digital transformation. We need to emphasize the importance of cybersecurity. We need also to focus on the space program, and we have also fintech, التقنيات المالية, financial technology. They are called fintech. Maybe some of you heard about it, or some of you didn't. It's called fintech. And then empowering digital economy ecosystem. نظام متكامل يكون منظومة. الإيكوسيستم يعني المنظومة كاملة. And then we split those programs for 5 years, similar to الخطط التنموية, development plans. That was, that was produced by Ministry of Economy. Okay, we split them into 5 years. For the first 5 years, from 2020 to 2025, the program targets, these are the targets. Maybe you can read it. I don't know if you can read it or not. Okay, so we set our targets for the coming 5 years. And then the government supervisory body, this is something that I don't think you need it right now, and the overall supervision. So the ultimate vision of the National Digital Economy Program is thriving digital economy. أرجع وأكرر لكم digital economy is another form of economy. We have economy based on resources، يعني اقتصاد قائم على الموارد الطبيعية. اقتصادنا اللي احنا الحين عايشينه، the economy that we are living in today is a resource based economy. قائم الآن على الموارد الطبيعية، سواء كانت الموارد التعدين، الموارد السمكية، موارد النفط والغاز اللي هي أكبر مساهم. It's the most contributor into economy, oil and gas. لكن هذه الموارد, these resources will vanish soon or later. So we cannot continue just relying on these resources. The economy will not be sustainable. We have today, not tomorrow, to move toward knowledge-based economy. Knowledge will add value for the resources. You know that we sell crude oil. You know that the country sells crude oil. احنا عمان تبيع النفط الخام. Sorry, sometimes I mix between Arabic and English just to make sure that, especially the student community, they understand exactly what I want to say. Okay, so basically, the country sells crude oil. They sell crude resources. حتى الخام، حتى التعدين. Then the knowledge economy will help us to add value to that resources. هذا النفط اللي يطلع من معانا خام، دول أخرى تصنع منه مشتقات كثيرة. How they manage to produce multi-products from our crude resources? By knowledge. By knowledge. So they were capable to produce multi-products out of our crude oil, but we couldn't add value to that one. Okay, or we add very minimal value to it. So if we have a strong and robust knowledge base, we will be able to contribute toward knowledge-based economy, and we will not sell the crude resources, mining resources, fisheries resources. You know that fisheries, we sell fish like a crude fish. وانتوا تعرفوا مشتقات الأسماك, the derivatives of the fish itself. It has the value chain of the fish is huge. You can generate many products out of the fish. It's not only selling them crude fish for food, for eating. Many things can be sold. Okay, but it requires not only manufacturers, it requires knowledge, capability to identify what products you can create in the downstream industry. Okay, so this is the summary of the digital economy. The message: providing a secure and advanced digital infrastructure that support the digital government, digital business, and digital society. So the focus in these three: digital government, digital business, and digital society, integrated with economic and social development and responsive to sustainability and future requirement to achieve Oman's Vision 2040. Sustainability هنا مهمة. Sustainability يعني الاستدامة sustainability. The goal of the strategy or the program is to developing skills and competencies that are in line with the labor market requirements and future digital demand. يعني نتأكد أن skills والمهارات skills of the graduates, not only of the graduates, even with the existing employee, are in line with the requirement of the digital economy. Also, one of the goals is providing an enabling business environment for companies to adapt modern technologies to support business digitalization. Enabling business environment. Technology not allowed to come to Oman, but it's required by many companies. No, we have to allow it to come. Integration between that technology and that technology cannot happen. We have to create that environment. So we support the industry as well. We cannot just leave them aside and we say, no, you have to do it without enabling them. We need to enable them as a government. The third objective is achieving smart government transformation program and providing effective governance mechanism. And finally, creating a digital society responsive to future requirements. I will take you through the details of each of them. Okay, so thriving digital economy, we will focus in smart governments, في الماضي يمكن سمعتوا عن electronic government, e-government. Today we heard about smart government. Do you know the main difference between smartness and electronics? Electronics, basically in the past, the electronic government is a terminology that's starting to being used late 90s, early 2000, and then it continues until 2010, 2000, early this decade. Okay. Electronic government is transforming the services from the physical world to digital world. يعني الخدمات بدل لا تقدم بالأوراق تقدم بالكمبيوتر والإنترنت. That is called electronic government. Smartness is different. الحكومة الذكية تختلف. الحكومة الذكية we will review and we'll re-engineer the process of all services. يعني الخطوات اللي جالسين نسوي بها العمليات هذه أو الخدمات مال الحكومة ممكن ما نحتاج لكلها. We don't need all the processes that currently we are doing for any government services. So review the engineering of the process. Redesign them if it's required. A. B in the smartness is the integration between the services. So if one service is provided by your college, another service is provided, for example, by Sultan Qaboos University, you don't have to do everything from scratch if you go to Sultan Qaboos University for a particular service. There will be integration system between SQU and your university. There will be integration system between Ministry of Housing and Ministry of Social Development, between Ministry of Housing and Ministry of Transport. So if your information is available with Royal Oman Police and you come to ministry, you don't have to again to write your information or you put it in the system. It is integrated there and we can pull data. That is the smartness. Then it is reviewing the current process, re-engineer it, take out what is not necessary, okay, and then integrate them together collectively. And then the second thing in the digital economy, business digitalization. Lazim, we have to digitalize the business, the industry. Okay, if we want our industry to compete at the international level, they have to be present in the digital world. And we need to enable them to present in the digital world. There is no physical markets anymore. There is virtual market. You sell crude oil in the virtual market. You purchase gold or whatever you want from the virtual market. So in order to be there, you need to be digitalized. And we create the environment that will enable that digitalization for the industry. And then finally, the digital society. What is digital society? For whom we are developing the digital economy? It is for the society. For the welfare of the society. Then we have to make sure the society is also developed in par with the economy. Skill development, capacity building, education, awareness, whatever you name it, So we need to make sure the whole society is moving in par with the digital economy. Because if tomorrow we have smart government services and the society is not very well equipped in terms of competencies and skills, then who will use the smart government services? Who will use it? The ultimate objective of the smart government is the citizens. So we need to make sure the digital society is in place. Okay. So the first pillar is accelerating the transition to digital smart government. And I explained to you what is the smartness mean. The second pillar is enhancing the digital society by establishing an advanced digital infrastructure, technical competencies within the society. That's exactly what I explained. And the third pillar, enabling business digitalization to transform into a thriving digital economy. And I explained to you, we need to enable the industry to be digitalized, to present in the global market. As I said, 99% of the markets are virtual. Sell and buy, provide your services, get your products. As we speak now, we have been living this during the pandemic. Okay, you get your lectures, your assignments, everything online. You don't need to be physically present wherever you go. So exactly for the industry, they have to be digitalized. They have to review the process. They have to review everything to be accepted and welcomed by the global community, business community. Okay, so the strategic goals of Oman Vision 2040, I explained to you this, the strategic, what will be the target for the 3 for the 3 KPIs. I will not repeat them, but the important thing is the last line, the contribution of the digital economy to GDP. In the assessment, we found that the ICT sector contributes only 2%. The objective for the ICT sector to contribute at 10% by 2040, 10%. And we created a plan that will increase gradually the contribution. By 2025, we will move to 3%, so 50% increase. And then from 25 to 30, we will increase again 50 to 60, so it will be 5%. From 2030 to 2040, again to 2035, it will be 7.5%. From 2035 to 2040, it will be 10%. It's not a single jump from 2 to 10. It is divided over 5 years interval. Okay, so this is the main key message. The ultimate objectives for the sector is to contribute toward the economy by 10%. If our economy worth 10 million, then 1 million has to come from ICT sector. If it was 10 billion, then 1 billion has to come from the ICT sector. 10% exactly. Okay. The main targets for achieving the National Digital Economy Program is by enhancing digitization in country value, creating national industries in the digital economy. You remember when I told you about the contribution of the ICT sector, I said only 13 to 15% is the industrial activity contribution. That is very weak, not humble, very minimal. Okay, so we need to increase it. Then ultimately from the 10%, the IT industry will be 35% out of the 10%, and 65% will be the telecom industry and the infrastructure maximization. And establishing strategic partnership with private sector. All these programs, the government cannot execute everything by itself. When I say cannot, it doesn't mean financially. But we don't have the capabilities, the in-house, in the government, the capabilities and the competency. We need to work jointly with the private sector. They are the dynamo of the economy. Okay, that's what's called public-private partnership. Maybe some of you heard about PPP, public-private partnership. الشراكة ما بين القطاع العام والقطاع الخاص. And then creating sustainable income generating opportunities for youth. That is different than creating job. This is income generating opportunities. فرص للدخل. يعني even you are sitting in your home, you can create your own income. Being a freelancer, we need to create that environment and that culture. The sector has to support this. So everyone will be able to generate his income until he gets the job he wants. Okay, but not just to sitting like a job seeker without doing nothing. So we need to embed that culture, create that environment. And finally, digitizing the economic sector include in the 10th 5-year plan. Digitizing the economic sectors, القطاعات اللي هي national priority sectors, اللي هم الستة اللي راويتكم إياهم في pyramid, I presented in the pyramid. Those sectors, we need to digitizing the economic sectors, those two. The focus area in between 2021 and the end of 2025 will be developing cybersecurity industry. Okay, صناعات الأمن السيبراني, and I think all of you know about the cybersecurity and its industry. أيضا promoting data centers and cloud services, مراكز البيانات والخدمات السحابية, and I think you know. Just my advice to you, you should know all these terminologies by today, especially for those who will graduate or they are in the 3rd year. These are ABC terminologies in the telecom, in the ICT sectors, in the engineering field. These terminologies, if you don't know them very well, I advise you to go and Google it. Read about it. What is cybersecurity? What is data centers? What is cloud services? What is cybersecurity services? Okay, what are the terminologies of the infrastructure in the ICT? So by the time you graduate, you will find you have very rich knowledge about the sector, not necessarily only the knowledge in the book, but in general, you can speak about it continuously, at least for 5 to 10 minutes. You can speak about the area you are studying. And another focus area is the government digital transformation, التحول الرقمي الحكومي. And I told you the difference between the digital transformation, the smartness in the government, and the electronic government. And another focus area is the adoption of fourth industrial revolution technologies. Fourth industrial revolution, it came maybe by the time you started your college. اللي منكم الآن in the fourth or fifth year, the fourth industrial revolution started maybe 2014, 2015. You need to know what is it. These are the key questions in the interview. What are the fourth industrial revolution? We always use fourth industrial revolution. Do we understand what is it? What are the technologies? Why we call it fourth industrial revolution? What was the third industrial revolution? What was the second? Because if we have fourth, then basically we have third and second and first. You need to know how things evolve over time. You are in the industry. Another focus area is attracting foreign digital investment. جذب الاستثمارات الخارجية. For those of you who studying finance, you understand how to attract investment. How difficult and easy. What are the supporting environment required for this? And then finally, developing digital contents. As we speak now, we are creating contents. Are we good in creating contents here in Oman? Do you contribute? Do any of you contribute toward creating contents with value added that will make money for him or for her? Okay, we need to develop this digital contents. You know, the content creator, they are paid. يعرف اليوتيوبر لا اليوتيوبر they are get paid per million view. So we need to develop this, but in a constructive and productive way, not just creating anything for the sake of creation, because money creation will not get money for it. No one will pay you. There are many creators now developing their contents. Why some of them are millionaires, some are not? You need to select what sort of contents. So the focus area here, developing the digital contents. That is all about the digital economy. I hope you got a picture about it, how it is linked with the Vision 2040. I hope you also understand roughly the Vision 2040 and how each sector strategy is aligned with that strategy. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any question, I think now I'll leave the floor for you. Mahfouda, I think now the floor is yours, Mahfouda, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, of course, indeed, Doctor, and thank you for a very interesting and fruitful session. Now the floor is open for questions and answers. Colleagues, you may unmute your mic or raise your hand for questions.
I hope I didn't take longer than I should.
No, you took shorter. Normally such a session, a fruitful session takes 1 hour, and then we continue with the questions.
No, I'm not good at
No, it was really very interesting and full of information. Anyway, the session will be also available in the ETC talks for those who are not able to join on the live session. Let us see if anybody is, or any question is there.
If there is no questions, either I was clear enough or I was complicated enough to the extent people didn't get my
Of course, it was very clear. It was very clear, and it was really very rich of information. We'll just wait for someone to raise his hand or unmute. It seems that it was very well explained, but I have some questions myself. Do you have any challenges while implementing?
We have, how many participants are presenting now, are attending now? I can see only 11. How many?
We had 40 registered for the
And
session.
How many attended?
And attended 35.
Okay. Go ahead, Mahfouda, you have questions.
Yeah. Ayo, Doctor, what are the challenges you met while collecting all of this information and designing all this strategy in the different pillars. If we focus on the education, what are the challenges?
Well, I mean, the challenge in any national initiative, be it a project or strategy, is the alignment between the individual and the different institutions. Okay, everyone is doing a great job, but unfortunately in silos. You know my point? So
Yeah,
how to bring all of them working together at a national level, avoiding the duplication, avoiding the overlapping, okay, complement each other toward a national objective. That
yeah,
is, it's a cultural change, yeah? It's a mindset. This is mindset more than project execution. It's not only project management issue. It's a
yeah,
mindset. Bringing people to work together, irrespective what is their institute, what is their, I mean, organization. You know what I mean? So that
yeah.
is the main challenge. People, they always think about financial challenge, but I mean, financial, yes, I do admit, I mean, we might have financial challenge, but if the people join, team up, work together, I think finance will not be that difficult, because we have finance, but split in different organization. If we bring that finance to national interest, it will have more value. Yani, my 1 riyal will not do anything, but our 10 riyal will do something.
Together.
Okay, so just integrating those efforts without any duplication, without changing this mindset, make people working at strategic level. These are the key challenge basically we will suffer with.
Okay, thank you,
And
Doctor.
also,
And
you know that digitization removes some power from individual. Tomorrow I will not, maybe you will not need my signature.
yeah,
The people will start worrying. You know, any change management brings some worries and concern for people. They also want to see what is in this change for me, how that will impact me positively or negatively. Without communicating that, I mean, clearly to individual, you will find people challenging you, facing the change, because they are
yeah,
worrying. Maybe they will lose power, they will lose privilege, they will lose positions. Many things could happen. And of course, any change always come with side effect. We are trying to minimize the side effect and maximize the positive effect. That's it.
yeah. Thank you, Doctor. And one more question: how when you said one of the focuses is to find income generator, generating
Opportunity.
opportunities, yeah, for
Yes.
those who are at home, like selling from within at home without being recruited with any company or organization. How that is contributing to the to the national GDP?
Yes. GDP. Yes, of course. I mean, every single real you spend in the local economy, you are contributing in the economy. So imagine you are providing a service. I mean, when we talk about e-business, it's not only selling something, I mean, products. You sell services,
Yeah,
consultancy, teaching, advisory, name it. You and I, we are selling knowledge. We don't have product. Our product is knowledge. So if someone hire me as an advisor or telling him doing some work for him is knowledge. So you can sell your service and get paid for that. That payment, when it comes to the country, it of course contributes to the economy. Tomorrow you will spend some of that money locally here. It will contribute to the economy. But the idea behind it, we don't want to continue with the culture job creation. It's not creating vacancies, but I mean there are opportunities for income. You know, the big countries with big population, the freelancer now represents something like 35 to 40%. We get services from people working from home. They say we don't want to go to office, and I don't want to work for a company. I want to work for myself. I work day, nights, whenever I like, and they get paid per project. Okay, maybe later on they form their own company or they join another company, whatever, but they don't stay waiting, because just waiting, that is bad effect on the economy, because you will continue consuming but not producing. Okay, so we need to change that mindset. Until I get the job I want, or until I find the next opportunity, job opportunity, I can generate my own income. And working in the digital or in the virtual markets doesn't require that capital. If I ask someone go and open a store, افتح لك مشروع، هيقول لك ما عندي الكابيتال، ما عندي راس المال.
بالضبط.
But working in the virtual market, it doesn't require that capital. You need to invest in yourself, upskill yourself, learn new skill, try to find the niche. What can I develop for myself? Then that I can sell it. That's the difference between job creation and income opportunity creation. I don't know if this is clear.
Yeah, it is clear. Thank you, Dr. Saud. I believe the topic was well explained, and there are no more questions. Therefore, I will end the session for today. At the end of this very interesting session, join me to thank Dr. Dr. Saud Hamed Al-Shaili for an enlightening session on digital economy strategy. Stay safe. شكرا مرة ثانية دكتور ومع السلامة.
عفوا thank you very much. It's my pleasure. All the best وأتمنى لكم التوفيق إن شاء الله جميعا. طلبة إن شاء الله بتخرجكم وتفوقكم إن شاء الله تلتحقوا بعملكم أو وحدكم تكونوا أرباب أعمال. تحياتي لكم جميعا. السلام عليكم. Thank you very much again.
وعليكم السلام. شكرا جزيلا.